Rocky Mountain Diecast Racing League presents Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a multi-part series where 6 cars will compete head-to-head. The top 2 cars will form a team and they will try to dethrone the Juggernaut. Our first ever Juggernaut will be Team Acura from the World Team Championships, which consists of Shady, Cadence, and Kageck in the Acura Integra and the Acura NSX. And here are your 6 drivers that are going to try to form a team. We got Mike P in the 1970 Chevelle. He's coming off a huge victory in the Chevy Showdown. JT in the Cadillac Elmiraj. Mrs. Zombie in the Mclaren F1. Tegan the Dreigastir in the Lotus Esprit. JD the Zombie in the Dodge Challenger. Could have a husband and wife couple here. Drab ED in the Mclaren P1. He would love to go team up with the other McLaren, but they gotta finish in the top 2 to make that happen. Heat 1, we got Tegan lined up with Mike P. And they're off. And Mike P's sideways right away, and Tegan's going to take a early lead going to turn 2. Building on that lead. And he's going to take this home. Mike P made some ground at the end. Wow, that was a close race there between Mr. and Mrs. Zombie. I think Mrs. Zombie just held up Mr. Zombie for 4th place. Great start for Tegan. Let's check out the slow motion camera here. Wow, that was a very close race. Heat 2. We have Mrs. Zombie lined up with Drab ED. The 2 McLarens lining up side by side. See how they work together, because there's potential that they could be going up against the Juggernaut. Mrs. Zombie's holding up Drab ED. JT's right behind him. JT's making a move around turn 4, and wow, what a pass right before the finish line. I think he got it. JT takes a victory from the 2nd row, and Drab ED is in shock and tears because his last time at this track in the World Team Championships, he pretty much won every single race he started in the front row. What an upset. Heat 3, we got JT lined up with Zombie. JT's had a hot start here, getting the victory from 2nd row, and now he's got the lead. Started in the 1st row, getting a little loose there, and Mr. Zombie's really lined up. But JD, the Zombie, manages to hold on to 2nd, and we got our first DNF of the day. So far we've had some pretty clean races here, and Tegan almost made it to the finish line. He's only a few feet short. Doesn't really matter anyways, he was in last. Actually, he got passed there from Drab ED. That cost him a position. Heat 4, we got Mike P lined up with Tegan. Right now, JT's got a commanding lead in that Cadillac. And now he's going to be starting the back row for the next races, and Mike P's got the lead. This is the kind of stuff he was doing in the Chevy Showdown. And look at that, Mr. Zombie pulls into second place from... He was in the second row there too. Big finish for Mr. Zombie. JT finished in last. That's going to really close up the points here. Look at that, Mike P's got 15 points and JT's got 15 points. Looks like there's potential those two are going to be teaming up. But they're both starting in the last row, and we got the McLarens starting in the front row, and both of them need good strong finishes here because they're sitting last. See what they can do. Drab ED's got the lead. Mr. Zombie's trying to make a move. Mr. Zombie's right in there. What is going on? Mr. Zombie takes the lead to the last corner. What a finish. I think Tegan got second. Drab ED and Mrs. Zombie finished third and fourth. They both started in the front row and they ended up third and fourth. That was nuts. And look at the points now. We got JT and Zombie with 16 points, Mike P with 15. Tegan's only one that else has a shot, but Mr. Zombie and JT are starting in the front row. Mike P starting in the back. He needs a miracle. If Mike P can somehow beat Zombie or JT, he would advance, but otherwise he's toast. And look at the moves that Mike P's making. It's all off camera. Oh, we got a photo finish here. It's JD the Zombie and Mike P. We don't even know who finished third. The only thing we know right now is JT's won this group with that victory. Let's see what happened here. Unbelievable racing from Mike P to come from the back row and give himself a shot. He for sure had a lead, but I'm going to say judges are going to call it a draw. They're going to give him a tie, which would give them each 3 points, but Mr. Zombie would be the one advancing because he was 1 point ahead going into that race, which means JT and Mr. JD the Zombie are advancing, and they're going to go up against the Juggernaut. JT's going to captain the team because he had the most points, so he gets to choose the team name. And he's going to go with Transport Diecast Racing. So we got Transport Diecast Racing versus the Juggernaut Team Acura. Here we are going to have 8 heats. Cars are going to line up in every position possible, but they will always start bumper to bumper with your teammate. The points are a little bit different, obviously, since we only have 4 cars, and points will accumulate for their team. In Heat 1, we have JT lined up with Shady Cadence. Shady's won almost every single race he's ever started in the front row on this channel. If you want to see some of his past action, watch the 36 car tournament and the World Team Championships, and oh boy, JT and the Zombie both wipe out. JT gets pushed across the finish line, which is super helpful for their points. Shady takes the win, no surprise. Good start for Team Acura. See what happened here. JT tried making a move. He might have been able to make that move too if he hadn't wiped out. Looks like he caught an edge on the Integra and put him on his roof. He too, we got Kageck lined up with JT. Kageck's going to take the lead through the corkscrew. JT's rolled over again. What a disaster. And Kageck's going to take the easy lead, win, followed by Shady. They finish 1-2. Oof, this is going rough for Transport Diecast Racing. But there's 8 heats, so there's lots of time to make up some ground. Heat 3, we have Shady lined up with the Zombie. Shady takes the huge lead going into the corkscrew. Zombie's not going to give up that easily though. It looks like this one's over, and I think Kageck might have crashed in the background, so at least Transport Diecast Racing is going to finish second and third, but Team Acura's got 3 wins in a row, and they got a huge points lead after that. 21-12. At this point, Transport Diecast Racing needs a miracle. But they still got 5 heats to go. Now we have the Zombie lined up with Kageck. And the Zombie's right, it's do or die right now. Looks like the Zombie's going to take the lead. This might be a first. Oh, they're running 1 and 2. Finally, they're working together as a team, running bumper to bumper, drafting and pushing, and they finish 1 and 2. That's going to make the points gap a little bit smaller. If you can finish first and second, you basically gain 5 points on them. Heat 5. JT's lined up with Kageck, and they're going to try to build on that win. JT's going to take the lead to the corkscrew. What a turn of events we've got here. If the Zombie could make up some ground, well, it's better than nothing. That gains them another point. They'll get 6 points from that, and Team Acura will get 5. They gain 1 more point. Still got some work to do, but it's not impossible at this point with 3 heats to go. Heat 6. Shady's back in the front row, lined up with JT. Shady has been pretty much unstoppable here, and he's going to take the lead. But Transport Die. Oh, JT tried making a move. He was going to fly off the. Now Transport Diecast Racing's really in tough. That was a very risky move that JT made and did not work out. Transport Diecast Racing needs 2 wins in a row to have a chance. See what the Zombie can do lined up with Shady. Shady's been so good in the front row. The Zombie's got the lead. He's blocking. JT's trying to get around him too. The Zombie's going to pull off a victory. Shady did manage to finish in second. But that's a huge victory for Transport Diecast Racing. And we got a 3-point gap going into the final race. Which means if Transport Diecast Racing finished first and second, they would win the series. They finished first and third, it would be a tie. First and last, they would lose. They need a win regardless. And Kageck's doesn't want to let that happen. He's got a lead. He's going in reverse though. Gives him better eyes on the competition. But can he hold it together in reverse? Kageck will hold it together. And we have a champion. Team Acura is going to stay as the Juggernaut. Transport Diecast Racing's really disappointed as those first 3 heats really put him under. Very hard to make up a 9-point deficit, but they tried their hardest and they made it very interesting in the end. Team Acura showing why they are the Juggernaut and continue to dominate this track. If there's any cars you've seen in the previous videos that you think might have a chance against the Juggernaut, please let me know in the comments below and see if we can get them in future episodes. Thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and follow the action.